So, Congressman Banks is in focus today. Good to see you. So, first of all, I really want to get a handle on the wrecking ball that you are describing and what that will feel and look like for Americans.
Well, Harris, I noticed that Republicans have rightly so focused on the price tag, over $5 trillion in spending between the fake infrastructure bill and the reconciliation bill, and talking about what that will do to inflation. But unfortunately, the bill still polls fairly well among the American people because they don't know exactly what's in the bill. So at Republican Study Committee, the group that I chair, we found, as you said, 42 reasons. Each of them alone are good reasons to vote against this massive bill to turn our country into a socialist nation overnight. But when you dig into it, you find things like billions of dollars to fix what they call racist roads and bridges, which is crazy. I don't even know what that means. Creating a climate police department or a militia to go out and enforce Green New Deal policies at the federal level. Not just giving free college education to illegal immigrants, but giving them child tax credits as well to those who come here illegally. This bill will shut down your daycare because daycares will now have to hire college-educated employees. So you probably won't be able to afford the daycare that you go to, or it will have to shut down altogether. And then on top of that, 700,000 first-time fines for your employer if they don't abide by the Biden vaccination mandates. So each and every one of these reasons alone are reasons to vote against it, but overall it's just a dangerous bill.
I took a note on a couple of those. First of all, what are climate cops? Like if I water my lawn more than twice a week, they're going to put me in jail? I mean, I legitimately am curious about that. But that kind of money over vaccines with as much as happening right now, that just seems futile because people are already sitting all the way down in their seats not to go back to work until the mandates change.
Yes, it will put your business out, the business that you work for, your employer, it will put them out of business if they don't abide by the Biden vaccination mandate, which is unconstitutional. It's something that we should be fighting against in the courts and in Congress. And now they want to fine your business $700,000 for a first time fine for not going along with it. I know in my district in Northeast Indiana, that would put a lot of businesses immediately out of business if they resist this unconstitutional mandate and policy.
That would put most businesses out of business.
Yes. So your business is probably going to go out of business, and then you're not going to be able to afford your child's daycare center anymore if this bill passes.
Which we need more than ever. As moms and dads coming back to work, we need that support because it was lost so much during the pandemic. Those were some of the first resources that parents lost, daycare and small child care. Senator Elizabeth Warren, well, this is interesting. She's facing some backlash for some comments she made yesterday when she was talking about who will pay for the Democrats' massive spending bill. Watch this.
The money, the money is going to come from the billionaires who don't pay their taxes and therefore have enough money to shoot themselves in the face.
Oh, Congressman Banks, I like a little hypocrisy on display in my favorite color of purple. What in the world? This woman, according to Forbes magazine, just 2 years ago, was worth $12 million.
Yeah, incredible hypocrisy all around for the Democrats, but especially Senator Warren. By the way, in this spending bill, Harris, they will fund 87,000 new IRS agents to go through your bank transactions, presumably the plan for $600 or more bank transactions, 87,000 new IRS agents. So how do they plan to pay for this bill? It's going to be working class men and women, like most people who are watching this program today who are barely making ends meet in this inflationary economy. They're the ones that are going to be paying for this massive spending bill, not the billionaires and the people that Elizabeth Warren herself and others that they're talking about. It's going to be people who are working hard every day just to make ends meet.
You know, Congressman, before we move on, just real quickly, there was something that you said that really resonated with me just in terms of, you know, being out of touch and not really understanding. I think that maybe the Democrats, and maybe this happens all over Washington, it's just an assumption that we're never going to know what's in these massive bills. Primarily because Americans are working so hard just to keep up, but also because the people that develop them aren't interested in telling us. So, and no wonder, because so much of what you're telling us now is not good news. So Democrats can't sell what they're trying to sell, let alone tell us the truth. Your quick thought on that, and I'll move on.
Yeah, they don't want you to know what's in this bill. That's why it's our job. We have a duty as Republicans to go out and tell the American people about the crazy policies that are in this bill that's going to change your way of life if it passes.
And you also just touched on this, a group of independent bankers calling out President Biden's IRS snooping plan, which would require reporting on transactions for every single bank account with a balance over $600, saying if they're not successfully catching the tax cheats with this, this is just assuming that everyone is a tax cheat. This would scare more people out of the banking system. And while House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is defending the plan, Congressman Kevin Brady, top Republican on the Ways and Means Committee, has a very different take. I'll get your reaction on this.
There are concerns that some people have, but if people are breaking the law and not paying their taxes, one way to track them is through the banking measure. I think 600, but that's a negotiation that will go on as to what the amount is.
This new bank surveillance scheme is not aimed at the wealthy or the big corporations. It seems ironic that you would be tracking the smallest businesses and the family farms to give this huge tax break to the wealthy.
Your reaction?
Again, 87,000 new IRS agents in the spending bill. This is what they want them for, to go through your bank records. I mean, Nancy Pelosi doesn't have any idea how much $600 is. She spends $600 every time she buys ice cream. But that's a regular bank transaction for any small business in America, most normal working people. This means that the IRS is going to come and go through your bank records with their 87,000 new IRS agents. They're going after you. They want to find a good reason for the federal government to go after you, whether it's a good reason or not. This is the issue that I'm getting the most phone calls into my office about because normal working people realize just how crazy an idea like this is and what it will do to their ability to just pay their bills and make ends meet, make it harder for them to do regular bank transactions at their local bank. It's outrageous.
Yeah, I mean, it hurts the small banks in rural and small towns as well, rural areas and small towns. I mean, people will then start to say, well, I won't keep it in the bank. And you'll really be looking for it then, if they even get to keep any of it with the inflation that's going on. Congressman Banks, so good to have you in focus. Please come back soon. Thank you.
Thank you.